Hello there. I am Mr. Bob. Thank you for taking some time to look at one of my lessons. Today we're going to look at one of my most advanced lessons. This is from Ready Player One, and I want to show off how fancy my lessons can get. This is one of my newest lessons that I've made, so all of my newest and fanciest tricks can be seen here. This is for my grade 5 classes, but maybe level 5 is more appropriate to call it because these are very advanced lessons. These are for C2 and above students on the CEFR scale. These are going to be using the most advanced vocab that's measured by the CEFR scale. So I'm going to look at a couple different things and how I make the lesson. So on the very first page, you'll see my lesson goals. You do not need to spend any time on this page. This is just for you, the teacher, to have a good idea what we're going to talk about in class today. So in every lesson, I have some kind of warm-up, and it's going to be some kind of game to put you in the right position and make things fun from the very beginning. And also challenging too. Taboo is one of the harder ones where you need to describe this picture, but you can't use any of these words. That's just one game we have. All of the instructions for all of the games and warm-ups we have are always in the bottom left of the lesson. And every lesson then moves on to vocabulary. I always do pronunciation first. I always just ask the student to please pronounce these words correctly. And if you look at the bottom here, you'll see how I color code my vocabulary to match the level of the student. If a word is green, then it is at the target grade level, which for a grade 5 student would be a C1 word. And orange would be C2 words, and red would be above C2 words. So we really are not measuring it with the CEFR framework. And for this book, that's a lot of words. There's a lot of red words. This book is pretty advanced. This is made for native speakers. This is not made for ESL learners, but I do have some very advanced students. We're not going to go over every single page. It's pretty straightforward. You just go over the pronunciation, like converge. And if there's any letters, then just focus on any letters that they have a hard time with, or try to think of words that rhyme with it, like in trust, just in trust. That's how I would write it, like that. And that should help them out a lot at this level. And then go over the comprehension questions. You can usually tell which words they really need to go over just by listening to their pronunciation. If they make a mistake in the pronunciation, they probably don't know that word. You should spend a little bit more time on that. And then, of course, after the vocabulary pages, there is some kind of vocabulary review exercise. There are 4 rotating exercises that just rotate on and on forever. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to number 1. This is exercise number 1. It is combining ideas. And the whole goal of this exercise, you will judge how well they understand vocabulary words by how well they can make a sentence with them. If they can make a sentence with 2 or more words, well, then that's good enough. You never have enough time to test all of their vocabulary words again. That's not the best use of your time. It's not the best use of the student's time. Students need to take ownership for their learning. They need to apply themselves to really learn these words as best as they can too. Now, if they just make a sentence like a person spectates, or an attorney talks, those are both bad sentences. I mean, spectate, that just tells you that they know it's a verb, but they really don't know how to use it very well. I would ask for more details, like where does he spectate? He spectates in the big game. He spectates the 2 formidable teams play in the big game. Something like that. That would be a better sentence. And of course, you are the teacher. You can judge what kind of sentence you really want to see. And then if if you look in the top right, you'll see I have some sample sentences that I've already prepared. And here you have some very advanced sentences. Maybe your students are this good, probably not, but again, it's just to help them get more ideas. I don't need to read those. You can pause the video if you want to read those on your own. Click the button to make that appear and click the button to make that go away again. Okay? And then moving on, then we get to our reading comprehension questions. These questions are always supposed to be simple. They are guiding questions. They build upon each other. They build upon each other to lead to some big idea, theme, message, or lesson that's in the book. The goal of these questions is just, did you read it? Did you understand the reading? And can you put all of these pieces together and see how it leads to a big message or theme in the story? Now, if you look, these pictures are a little different. This cool spaceship here, it has a little green glow to it. The robot does not have that green glow because this spaceship is a little special. And I do this trick a lot. I have a lot of animations in my lessons everywhere. Now, if I click on this picture, it changes into another very cool picture because it would be a lot to put all these cool pictures into one page. So I just have it rotate and it rotates into even more. How do you know when it's done? You just come back to the beginning and just play around with it on your own free time. And yeah, cool. That's one way we can tell the story with pictures too. And I got some really cool pictures to show off in this lesson. And let me turn my camera off again, and you will look in the top right and you will see there's that button again. If you look in the top right, that is where there is a K for key, the button that makes the answer key appear at the very end. And yeah, I really like this book. This one was a lot of fun to make, and it was really, really cool when it finally was finished. And yeah, again, we don't need to go over every single page here. Now, after the reading comprehension questions, then we get to some really big questions. That leads to some of the bigger themes, messages, or lessons inside this book. And yeah, this is at the end of one lesson. So we're going to be preparing to write a big essay at the end of this. And yeah, there's so much to talk about in this lesson. There's a lot of different exercises that I include at the end. This one is a compare and contrast one. You'll see this every now and then. You will see exercises like these wherever they seem to fit. Like here, it's a pretty clear and easy idea to compare the book to the movie. That's just an easy exercise, an easy one to throw out there. Another exercise I have is make it your own. This is a good creative writing exercise where change the story in some way or continue the story. For this one, yeah, continue this story. That's a really great way to end this lesson and end this book. And yeah, I have many grammar review lessons, especially at the higher levels. Grammar lessons are not as important because their grammar is already really good at this point. But it's still a very good idea to just constantly review any grammar lessons that they already learned so that they don't forget. So for this one, there are multiple choice answers. So I'm going to turn my camera off again. And if you look in the top right, you will see two buttons. One button will turn on a bunch of multiple choice answers if you want that, but students are so advanced at this level, they probably do not need it and can fill in the blank with any good grammatically correct word. In this one, there are two correct answers because there are two blanks to be filled in. But again, they might not need that. They might be able to figure that out all on their own. And of course, if we click that K button, then we'll see the answer key at the bottom. Sometimes at the end, I'll put a fun quote at the end. And yeah, this book has a lot of great quotes in it too. In parentheses, I will put the page number in my copy of the book. And yeah. Again, I just want to say thank you for your time. Please contact me at my website or my email address. There's my email over there, and there's my website over there. Please contact me, and if you contact me via email or social media, then I will give you more freebies. Naturally, if you buy a lesson from this book, I will give you a freebie related to this book or a freebie related to this grade level. It really depends on what you want. I have 800 plus lessons. I will give you a freebie related to your grade level or book, depending on what you want. Please contact me. Please give me good feedback. And yeah, I really appreciate your time. Again, I want to say thank you. Thank you very much for everything. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.